another Monday Night Magic. Poor Mama Spoket's not feeling the best today.
It's sinus cold time. Yeah.
It's gone through the rest of the house pretty well. I'm not sure about Thomas, but pretty much everybody else has been sick over the last 2 weeks. So, yeah.
What else did we miss? So we got Founder. Hi, Founder. Becca got some bad moods. Bad news. I'm sorry about your bad news. I hope you get some better news soon and feel better.
Yeah.
Bad news happens. It sucks. I'm sorry.
There's been storms moving through up here in Canada, and some of our family's been hit with trees coming down and damaging homes and vehicles and stuff. And yeah, it's been rough.
Do we share what Lucas did today?
No.
Something we have to remedy next time we go back.
As you say, we owe a store a couple bucks.
Yeah.
We found out about when we got home.
Oh my goodness. At first I was not happy, but then I just kind of chuckled because I'm like, oh my goodness. Anyways, yeah, we'll fix it soon. Okay, Dagger Cards, hi. I'm really thinking about getting a Costco card again. We like Costco most of the time.
Yeah,
we shop there a lot.
It can be hit or miss. We have a big enough family that the large packages of stuff are helpful. They get used. We don't throw a whole lot out. And every so often they have nice deals on things. While we were in the city for a couple of days, we were able to get there at opening, and we already shared the 151 mini tins we were able to grab before they all evaporated in the first, 45 minutes, hour or so. So that was a nice find. While we were there, we looked through the rest of the store and found they still had a selection of these Deluxe Commander packs. So I did a little very brief research. This isn't a set I know much about, but from what I've heard of the Outlaws of Thunder Junction decks, there were 4 of them. Was it, or 5? It was 4 decks.
4, I think.
Anyways, Quick Draw seems to be the one that's gotten the best press. So if I'm only going to grab one to try and check out the package, I figured I might as well grab a good one, and that one seemed to fit the bill. I do have an Is It type deck. What do you want? Niv Mizzet the Firemind, was it? Anyways, there's a dragon in those colors that's been around for years, and they've made different versions of them. So I have a commander deck based around that particular little dragon. So a lot of the cards in here might fit in well with that, or might show me how the blue-red theme has evolved over time too. So I'm interested to see what exactly we have in here. It also comes with a Nicole Bolas Planeswalker promo. Every deck had the same promo card. I find it a little bit annoying. I do like the character Nicole Bolas. It's been around since Legends. It's been a Planeswalker more recently in terms of since they came out with Planeswalker cards. And I do already have a copy of this card from years ago. But now there's a promo version out of it everywhere. So yay, with Magic continuing to devalue all their game pieces, I guess. And this one comes with a selection of 4 booster packs. We've opened a couple of these Commander kits from Costco before. The Lord of the Rings one only came with 2 booster packs. And that's probably because Lord of the Rings, the decks were popular enough that they didn't need much support, to be frank. The other one we got was a March of the Machines, guys, try not to yell, I think, please. Commander deck, and it came with 3 packs. And in addition to those 2 Planeswalker cards, this one only has 1 card, but 4 packs, so an extra pack. But that one had a Commander Masters pack, which is a more premium type of pack, or at least was at the time. Greetings, young brain. I'm doing all right. Thanks for coming out.
All right.
So, of these 4 packs, this leads me to believe that these ones were generally not as well received, closer to the March of Machines end than the Lord of the Rings, Tales of Middle-earth decks end. But like I said, I tried to find the best one.
Well, Brinley is yelling at Isabel.
I look at the selection of packs they've included. Now, Aetherdrift, front and center,
Hey, Deadpool.
is the most recent set that's just released. I know there's another one releasing in the next week or so here,
Oh, yeah.
and maybe we'll find a bit of that. Dragonstorm, to me, is a card, not a set. But that's not the first time they've done that. Time Spiral was a card, not a set before that, and there have been others. But yeah, so this will be the first pack of Aetherdrift I've ever opened. Not a big fan of vehicles, so hopefully that theme doesn't completely dominate the set. Markov Manor, Foundations, and Outlaws of Thunder Junction. All those packs were in the Bloomburrow tins, along with 2 packs of Bloomburrow. So this is a very similar pack mix to what you would get in one of those Bloomburrow tins, except instead of the 2 Bloomburrow packs, you've got an Aetherdrift pack and the deck. So
I don't know who's excited about Aetherdrift. I haven't heard any good things about it.
I've heard very mixed things, more bad than good, unfortunately. It has not been selling that quickly. I've noticed at a few stores they still have pre-release kits and everything, still available.
I have some banana bread and I put butter on it, but it doesn't spread very good because it's not warm enough in the house.
Okay. Well,
sorry, just saying.
Cold butter can be tough to spread, especially on soft bread.
Yeah,
that is very
I
true.
should have warmed it up.
I would say of these packs, the one I'm most excited about is the Foundations, because there were some good things in that set that we haven't drawn yet, and I'd be interested to see. That's probably the one out of these sets I've opened the most of. Like I said, this will be my first Aetherdrift pack. The other 2 I've basically just gotten in those bundles. So we'll see what we get. But yeah, Foundations is supposed to be sort of a middle of the road base line type set.
Can I show you?
And so I suppose in a second.
Okay. It's not.
So if that's the most exciting one, that sort of tells me something about this selection of packs. Now, you never know what you're going to find, so we'll see. But we're going to dig through this, dissect it all, and see what I think of this new Commander product and what we get in a few packs. So, EDF.
Oh.
Well, thanks for coming, Dagger.
Oh, no, it's for Deadpool.
Commander level.
It's he's fist pumping Deadpool.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm just trying to figure that out.
Yeah, if you don't know, just kind of be like, okay.
And I guess we took a drive to one of our neighboring towns today, which is where Lucas did his unfortunate thing.
I think we bought not quite 75% of what they had.
They're gearing up for the pre-release tournament for Takir Dragonstorm's stuff on Friday, but they did get in a little bit of the new Pokemon, so we were able to get an ETB of Journey Together. This will be our second ETB of that to open.
They only got one of those.
I think we're saving these for Thursday, are we?
Probably.
Probably.
They only got one of these.
And some more loose packs. Yeah, they only had the one ETB
and a booster box
when we got there. And we got,
They put so they got one booster box that they put in the loose packs.
Yeah.
So.
That'll be something for us to save for our next Pokemon stream, probably.
Can we find the Salamence SIR?
That would be nice.
I hope so.
It would be nice to get any SIR. That's one thing we haven't opened yet after opening
the Salamence is the one I want
a whole
the most.
booster box and an ETB and some other loose packs, and we still haven't gotten a single SIR. So we have gotten some other decent hits. We pulled a gold card. It hasn't been a complete bust by any means.
Isabel, can you please come
the
down?
hit rates are a little bit more, better or more interesting anyway than some of the previous sets, and it's certainly been a little easier to find, although it's still not where it should be in terms of availability and easy to pick up stuff. But
it would be good when they start showing up at our Walmarts.
I did get 2 really poor packs. Apparently, I'll just take it as that. And I'm just going to switch this over so that we can look at the cards more easily.
And I'm just going to be over on the side, so...
That didn't fully... There we go. So here's the box. It's got its...
Pokemon packs.
Very similar in design.
Yes.
On the back...
McDonald's didn't have any. Oh, yeah, we were
your Outlaws of Thunder Junction. Yeah, we stopped by McDonald's today, and they had transitioned... In the next
town.
They had transitioned over to little Sonic toys, so I'm glad we were able to get that McDonald's
They're supposed
Pokemon card set finished.
McDonald's are supposed to be bringing out the The stupid whatchamacallit, Minecraft toys next.
Right. So everything you need to take command. Build the ultimate commander deck for Magic the Gathering. Inside this bundle, you'll find a ready-to-play 100-card deck, plus play boosters from Outlaws of Thunder Junction, Aetherdrift, and more. To take your deck building to the next levels. You'll even receive an exclusive promo card, perfect for showing off at the table.
I keep asking, and if they don't have any, I get a McFlurry or coffee.
Honestly, I think if you wanted to introduce Commander to people and give them a selection of stuff, I would be more inclined to make a product where you got a 60-card standard sort of deck with maybe only keep it singleton if you wanted to, with a diverse commander in terms of, you know, the color wheel. You'd want to have at least 3 colors in it, and then provide about 4 booster packs to go with it, so that you would be forced to play with some non-ideal cards just to get used to how the game goes. I think that would be... I think that's the best way to learn myself. But then again, I don't think that's really what's going on in Commander now. Now Commander is supposed to be for people who already know how to play and are just like to pull all the best stuff out of their collection and have a go with it as they feel like. So I believe that there's also a sample collector booster with 2-card little mini pack in the deck here with this as well. So let's just get my letter opener here and
Letter opener.
package opener, whatever, and start ripping this thing down. Now I forget what we paid for this, but it wasn't that expensive. It was cheaper than Pokemon products anyway.
It's like 59 or something.
50 or $60 Canadian. Yeah. So it works out to be a decent deal as far as your price per pack and deck go, because the deck itself, I think, goes for that. Not all of them do from the Outlaws of Thunder Junction packs. We have some sleeves handy. I should probably sleeve some of these behind us. Yeah. This is apparently promo card number 10. It's a nice Pringle-shaped card, which is pretty typical for Magic foils, especially when they're held loosely.
Yep.
I have used this one, but it is awkward to use. 8 cost is a lot. 3 colors is substantial as well. Plus 3 destroy a non-creature permanent is, I mean, it comes up. You can always find something to kill. -2 gain control of target creature. Again, not a hard one to find a use for. And if you can get it up to 9, it deals 7 damage to target player or planeswalker. That player or that planeswalker's controller discards 7 cards, then sacrifices 7 permanents. That's a bit of a callback to the original Nicole Bolas from Legends, who, if it dealt damage to your opponent with an attack, made them discard their hand. So maximum hand size is 7. It was a 7/7 creature. So that's where that first 7 damage and discard 7 cards sort of comes from. And then they attacked on and have to sacrifice 7 permanents as well, just to make it nastier. You know, this is certainly without, you know, reanimation tricks and stuff that are fairly easy with creatures. If you're just going to play it outright, this is certainly easier to play with than the old Nicole Bolas legendary dragon from Legends. That's for sure. And they don't... okay, people were asking about the... Okay. Yeah, from what I've heard, McDonald's is officially supposed to transfer over to the, at least in Canada here where we are, the Sonic the Hedgehog stuff starting tomorrow, so...
Mm-hmm. Well, Sonic or... No, I think it's transitioning to the other thing, the...
So should we start with the packs and then save the deck for last? I guess that makes the most sense, eh?
Minecraft.
Oh, right, Minecraft.
The movie's coming out.
We'll save the deck for last. Although, interesting, the last 2 decks I got, one of them was the Armies of Mordor or whatever deck was blue, red, and black. So fits this Planeswalker rather nicely. Although
hey,
not
Broly.
in theme.
Not much. We just kind of discussed a little bit about what we're opening tonight.
I think I'm going to save Foundations for last since it's the one that's most exciting to me.
Yeah, it's the one we like the most.
I'll do Thunder Injections next to last because that matches the theme best. Yeah. That leaves Markov Manor and Aetherdrift. What should we start with? Should we start with
probably Aetherdrift, the one that's
start
the least interesting.
Well, it's not that it's the least interesting, but it's the newest, certainly.
Oh, thank you, Broly. You didn't have to.
Thanks for stopping by, and certainly
you.
Thanks for the gift. That was nice.
I just like having more people in chat, but we appreciate it. Thank you. If you have been lucky to be gifted a membership by Broly, please make sure you say thank you. That's awesome. We appreciate it. We are going to do a member appreciation stream probably at some point that you're not working. So it should be fun.
So here's our art.
Is that card. A good buy? Yeah, it's decent for what you get.
Yeah, for the price, I think this is decent, but there's nothing that really. Oh, there's less art cards than there.
I would probably
Debris Beetle. That's what that is.
The commander decks, those are hit or miss because some of them are they're valued at different levels. That's what we kind of looked at.
If you can find a deck that you like for a good price that you don't already have, I'd say that's worthwhile. Yeah. Just as a random product though, it's pretty scattershot. The packs aren't the most exciting sets. But you do get 4 packs, which is better than the other 2 bundles. Like I said, Lord of the Rings one only came with 2 packs. Again, it was a popular product that didn't need as much support.
Hello,
March of the Machines came with 3 packs, and one of them was a Masters pack. So that makes a difference too. So what do we got here?
Also remind everybody that tomorrow morning is April Fool's, and be wary of April Fool's jokes.
Yes, beware the Ides of March and beware April 1st. There we go.
I don't like doing April Fool's jokes.
I don't either. The symbol here, I find a few people have said that's a little bit odd for a magic symbol, this sort of checkered flag. But, Did
you see what happened to that?
It seems to me almost like a set that's, they just took an idea for, what do they call those stupid things? An idea for...
We don't play with these ones. These are very unimpressive.
We got the kids being noisy in the background here. An idea for a secret lair and basically fleshed it out for a whole set.
I don't know where it went.
Now they did visit 3 pre-existing planes as they're racing around, from what I hear, so that's kind of neat. So compared to the Fuel Wars on Gastal, this Grand Prix is a thrilling vacation. So, yeah, there you go.
That art is kind of interesting, actually.
Instant for 2, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. It gains Death Touch and Indestructible until end of turn. Alright. There's our next common.
I like the Lord of the Rings one, said Broly. Yeah, the Lord of the Rings ones we like.
Stampeding Scurryfoot.
Hey, Ryan.
So here's a 1/1 for 1 green mouse. And you can exhaust for... Put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Create a 3/3 green elephant creature token. Activate each exhaust ability only once. All creatures, great and small, contribute to the stampede.
Oh yeah, okay. Rolly says any status on the mail. Last I saw, it was on the way to Canada. So
no, today's not April 1st, but the Pokemon are coming. They'll be on Thursday as usual.
Yeah.
Well, I guess technically we still have shorts.
Hello, Jay's Mix. Welcome.
We still have shorts going up from our journey together around the West Edmonton Mall.
Yeah, there'll be a short. Yeah, there'll be some shorts.
Yeah. Here's Howler's Heavy. 3/4 for 4. A seal pirate. That's kind of scary.
I like it.
Club those seals.
It's kind of weird, but I like it.
Cycling for... Okay.
Ezra, turn that down.
Volume off.
He's playing on.
He's trying to play Nintendo Land on,
Yeah, he likes
on
that.
the Wii U. He recently discovered that. It's good for multiplayer with his siblings. So yeah, cycle for 2. Discard this card to draw a card if you don't need a 4-drop at the moment. When you cycle this card, target creature or vehicle an opponent controls gets -3 attack until end of turn. It takes a thick skin to ride among the keel haulers.
Yeah, your aunt's out of power, right? They don't have their power back on
Yeah,
yet?
that's true.
Yeah, at least you have power, thankfully.
Brightfield Mustang. So another 4 cost. This one's a 3/3. It's a horse mount.
Ezra, turn the volume down.
Whenever this creature, I would say off, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Whenever this creature attacks while saddled, untap it and put a +1/+1 counter on it. And you can saddle 1, tap any number of other creatures you control with a total power of 1 or more. This mount becomes saddled until the end of turn. Saddle only as a sorcery.
Actually, there isn't too bad in this set.
Excuse me. My cough is not fully gone.
Lingering more. You didn't really get the sinus as much as I did.
No.
I have a very runny nose.
Prow Catcher Specialist. Goblin Warrior 2/1 for 2. Haste. And you can exhaust for 4, put 2 +1/+1 counters on this creature. That doesn't seem as exciting as the mouse's exhaust cost, or effect, I should say. Don't you know it's dangerous to go faster than us? There you go. Next, we've got a Packed Doll Terror. Artifact Creature Toy. 4 for a 3/4. Whenever this creature or another artifact you control enters, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. And you're telling me this was designed for children? Sita Varma. Yeah.
I don't like this set. There's a couple cards that I'll give them like kudos on the art for, but
we got a Guild Light Matrix. That's a little bit neater looking. 2 cost artifact. When this artifact enters, draw a card. Pay to untap. Target mount you control becomes saddled until end of turn. Activate only as a sorcery. Pay 2 and tap. Target vehicle you control becomes an artifact creature until end of turn. So this is a way to put drivers on your vehicles or mounts without having one. That's interesting. Ooh, we got a 6/5. This is an uncommon now. We got a silver checkered flag for our expansion symbol. Red and black and 2 artifact vehicle 6/5. Tap it. Target creature you control with power 2 or less gains lifelink until end of turn and can't be blocked this turn. And crew 3, tap any number of creatures you control with power 3 or with a total power of 3 or greater. This vehicle becomes an artifact creature until end of turn. Don't avoid the wreck, survive it. Alrighty. Supposed to be some sort of a literal monster truck, I guess. Then we've got Momentum Breaker. Enchantment for 2. Start your engines. If you have no speed, it starts at 1. Increase 1 once on each of your turns when an opponent loses life. Maximum speed is 4. I haven't heard of any dragons in this set. Nicole Bolas Planeswalker is historically a dragon, but they weren't making, sort of creature types on Planeswalkers much at that time. I expect there might be some dragons in that quick draw deck if there are many of those in Thunder Junction, but we'll see when we get there. Red is historically the color of dragons, although they're all over the place now. When this enchanter enters, each opponent sacrifices a creature or vehicle of their choice. Each opponent who can't discards a card. Pay 2, sacrifice this enchantment, you gain life equal to your speed. Okay, so this is just a way to build speed, I guess. and force some sacrifices.
You gotta read that, Barry. I'm busy.
Wow, that was a cool dragon. Well, yeah. Here's a flying snake, apparently. It's not quite a dragon. 1/1 for 2. Flying Death Touch. Exhaust 4. Reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal 2 land cards. Put those lands onto the battlefield tapped, and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. A +1/+1 counter on this creature. Okay. Way to ramp a little. Roadside Assistance. I could see this being an irritation. A white and 2 for an aura. Enchant creature or vehicle. When this aura enters, create a 1/1 colorless pilot creature token. With this token, saddles mounts and crews vehicles as though its power were 2 greater. So can crew for 3, basically. Enchanted permanent gets +1/+1 and has lifelink. Interesting. No road has to be traveled alone. Here's our rare. Full Throttle. It's for 6 in red. Sorcery. After this main phase, there are 2 additional combat phases. At the beginning of each combat this turn, untap all creatures that attacked this turn. Okay. You wanted a fight, now you've got 2. There's Chandra, who's the one on the right here. Not sure who that other one is. Story Spotlight card. Interesting.
Okay.
Now, this basically looks like an Relentless Assault variant. A little bit more expensive. You get 2 extra attack phases, but basically, in order to make good use of this, you have to have either unblockable creatures or a cleared board where they don't have blockers. Otherwise, your creatures are going to get blocked and stopped. Yeah, sometimes work can drag. I think that's true in just about any job. So that's our rare. I don't know if it's worth...
Good?
It's our rare. It doesn't strike me as being super good.
Okay.
It's a sort of a win more card as far as I can see. But you can check it if you want to.
Oh, yeah.
And then we've got a foil common. Gear Seeker Serpent. 7 cost for a 5/6. Affinity for artifacts. The spell costs 1 less to cast for each artifact you control. And pay 6. This creature can't be blocked this turn. The biggest collector of vehicles on Avishkar is also the largest. So there you go. And finally, we have a mountain. I mean, that's a neat looking mountain with sort of a giant stone flower thing there. Give it that. But yeah, I don't expect there was a whole lot there that's really jumping out at me.
This usually goes a lot better when the kids are when we do it later.
Momentum Breaker might be neat to look that uncommon up.
Or is that a foil?
No, none of these are foils.
Which version is it? It's a $5 card, maybe.
Which one? Full Throttle?
Yeah.
Interesting.
The cheapest
That's more than I expected, but then again, it's a fairly new set, so.
Yeah. So.
All right, let's do Markov Manor next. This was one of the sets from last year that didn't go over so well, to be honest.
Oh my goodness. Ezra.
So let's take a look at the art card. We have... That's quite a...
He gets very excited.
That poor Griffin is not having a great day. Axemaying Ferox.
Alright, what am I looking up next? There's too many cards here.
There's a couple of uncommons
this
there.
is kinda
I'd be
cute.
surprised if they're
I
worth
like
a
that
buck.
one. I don't know why I like it, but I do.
We've got Airtight Alibi.
Sky Serpent Seeker? Yeah, that's a weird one.
Flash, enchanted creature. When Airtight Alibi enters the battlefield, untap enchanted creature. It gains hexproof until end of turn. If it's suspected, it's no longer suspected. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2 and can't become suspected.
This is like a 35-cent card.
Yeah, I didn't think that was much of anything, but. And Hazda Vigilante is a 4/4 for 5. When the Vigilante enters the battlefield or attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control with power 2 or less.
The Momentum Breaker is 50 cents. The foil would have been $2.
Okay. Call the Boros if you want. While they figure out if they have enough people to send a patrol, I'll be out clobbering the lowlifes who robbed you. Next, we got Cold Case Cracker. 3/3 flying for 4. When Cold Case Cracker dies, investigate.
Ezra, what'd I tell you?
Rare privilege to investigate one's own death.
Oh my goodness.
Person of interest, 2/2 for 4. One person of interest enters the battlefield. Suspected. Create a 2/2 white and blue detective creature token. A suspected creature has menace and can't block. Maybe they're following someone else, he thought to himself, despite mounting evidence to the contrary. Magnifying glass, 3/3. A 3 artifact, 3-cost artifact that can tap for a colorless. Pay 4 and tap it to investigate. Create a clue token. It's an artifact with pay 2, sacrifice this artifact, draw a card.
Ezra,
Sanitation Automation 2.
He's not listening.
Sanitation Automation enters the battlefield. Surveil 1.
I told you volume down.
I am once again bursting with discarded theories. Disposal imminent.
On this one, the volume must be down on this. Well, I don't know.
A couple of months.
I need ours. Hold on a second. Where's the volume?
There is some. Yeah, nice to see some of that neat stuff being shared in chat anyway. Auspicious arrival. So 2 in white.
Ezra.
Target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Investigate. Prof brushed past the guards and introduced himself, the great detective Proft, without a hint of irony. Then identified the culprit within minutes. Next, we have an uncommon, our first one. Concealed weapon. It would be hard to conceal a sword that size, to be frank.
I think that's supposed to be the humorous part of it, is because you can't.
A red and a colorless artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets +3 attack. Disguise for 3. You may cast this card face down for 3 as a 2/2 creature with ward 2. Then turn it face up anytime for its disguise cost.
Child?
When concealed weapon is turned face up, attach it to target creature you control.
I'm sorry. I think it's you guys. I'm sorry.
And to pay 2 to equip.
Enjoy the background music and child.
And we've got a surveillance monitor.
I tried.
3/3 for 4. When surveillance monitor enters the battlefield, you may collect evidence 4. Exile cards with a total mana value 4 or greater from your graveyard.
That makes me think of a Kree or something like that from the Star-Lord.
Yeah, I could see that. It's a Vidaken, and they're a pre-existing group that's been around since, when did they introduce those? Mercadian Mask?
I don't even know.
I think so. Sometime around then, anyway. But yeah, they're blue. Whenever you can collect evidence, create a 1/1 colorless Thopter artifact token with flying. So he's a Thopter user. Thopters don't take breaks, and neither does he.
Kids. Yes, kids are kids.
Yes, and we have a few of them.
Yeah.
Presumed dead, and we're having to do this a little bit earlier because of my new schedule where I have to be in bed earlier because I have to wake up earlier. So that's just sort of... Plus, all the kids are on March break, so they're all home and they're all looking for stuff to do. Presumed dead. Instant. Target creature... No? Until end of turn, target creature gets +2 attack and gains. When this creature dies, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control and suspect it.
Go away, you stupid thing.
Corpses are pulled from the undercity canals every day. They'll assume one's mine. Ooh, we got a rare land. Undercity sewers.
I like it.
It's a dual land in a sense. It's an island swamp.
Okay.
So it can tap for either blue or black.
Prettier than it sounds.
It is prettier than it sounds. Undercity sewers enters the battlefield tapped. When Undercity sewers enters the battlefield, surveil 1. Look at the top card of your library. You may put it into your graveyard.
Oh, I have a headache.
So... The fact that it comes into play tapped is a little bit annoying, but it does have an extra effect, and you can... It's an island swamp, so...
Sinus headaches.
I think that's worth looking up. It might be worth $1 or $2.
I can look it up.
Next, we got a double rare. Here's another rare of this pack. So this is a Cryptext 2 to cast. Tap it, collect evidence 3, add 1 mana of any color. Put an unlock counter on Cryptext. To collect evidence 3, exile 3 cards with total mana. Exile cards with total mana of value 3 or greater from your graveyard. Sacrifice Cryptext, surveil 3, then draw 3 cards. Activate only if Cryptext has 5 or more unlock counters on it. Okay.
So... Ooh, Barry, that's not a bad one. That Undercity Sewers is a $38 card.
For the base, regular, generic version?
I think so.
That's non-foil? Huh.
Okay, which symbol is it?
Little dagger.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yahoo!
Nice to get a good hit out of it anyway.
Yeah.
This little dagger looks like a mana rock with conditions, but it also can draw cards, so that might be worth looking up too. That's our other rare. And then we got a sudden setback foil, which is an uncommon, for 4. The owner of target spell or non-land permanent puts it on the top or bottom of their library. Look, buddy, you're not in trouble. I just want to ask you a question. Yeah.
Okay, the Cryptex one looks like it's depending on which version. Okay, no.
And then
it's
here's
a 50-cent one then.
A forest, which is very city gardeny. That's actually rather nice as far as a crowded city gets.
It's a 50-cent card, this one.
Okay.
Ooh, that foil looking cool, though.
It does look cool. I like the art on it.
Ooh, I love it.
The art on this forest isn't bad either.
Yeah.
I'll just show this again for the one I was talking about. This foiling on the spell and, yeah, Minotaur there. I do like Minotaurs. They've been around in Magic since day one.
Okay. Okay. Oh, it's not worth much, though. Oh, with the foil? Hold on a second. Where's the foil one? It's 50 cents.
Yeah. Anyway, you might as well put a sleeve on the foil, or sorry, on the rares, and I guess we can put one on the rare from.
You want it on this one that's like 35 cents or 50 cents or whatever I said it was?
Did you put one on? Where's the
right
rare
there.
from?
This one?
No, from the other pack.
Oh no, you still want it on the cheap rare.
You said it was a $5 rare, the one from Aetherdrift. Where'd it go?
Over here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might as well sleeve that up too. All right. Actually, I guess we should save Outlaws before we get into the deck, since it is Outlaws, right?
I guess.
So.
Do the foil as well? Even though it's not worth much.
Yeah, might as well. It looks cool, and it's a foil
it does
uncommon.
look cool.
So, play booster. I might try using that at
looks
some
like
point.
it should be part of Lord of the Rings. Yeah, it kind of does, eh?
Almost. I mean,
the elf?
like an elf city type
yeah.
thing. Lots of greenery. It does look a little bit too claustrophobic, I think, for the elves. Like the buildings are right on top of each other a lot. But
yeah, it almost looks like an optical illusion. You know what I mean?
So we're into the pack I was most excited for.
It kind of is.
Foundations.
Look at that. It's like a mirror version of it.
Yeah. So our art card here, what's it called, first of all? Alicia, who laughs at fate. Okay, looks like she's a leader of a barbarian group or something.
Yeah, something like that.
And then we have Fleeting Flight.
Ooh, I like that card.
1 white. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. It gains flying until end of turn. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to it this turn.
It almost looks like a butterfly.
On that fateful day, Sir Brilbury's fear of heights was outmatched by his sense of duty. Crash. Oopsies.
It's okay, Becca. I totally feel ya. This cold is kicking my butt.
Next, we have an Infestation Sage, 1/1 for 1, Elf Warlock. I don't like dark elves that much, just in general. I always found them a little strange. When this creature dies, create a 1/1 black and green insect creature token with flying. I control the swarm. If you strike me down, there will be nothing left to hold back their hunger. Well, it's a 1/1 that gives you another 1/1, so those have historically been decent value. Grow from the Ashes. 3 with a kicker of 2. Search your library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. If the spell was kicked, instead search your library for 2 basic land cards, put them onto the battlefield, then shuffle. I'm sorry to hear about that. Bad news is never pleasant. Tolarian Terror. 5/5 for 7. The spell costs 1 less to cast for each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard. So sort of like Affinity for artifacts, except you're looking for instants and sorceries you've already played pretty well. And it's got Ward 2. Afterward, a number of treaties on sea serpent morphology were swiftly revised. Next, we've got Squad Rallier. 4 for 3/4. For a human scout, pay 3, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature card with power 2 or less from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in the order. Between the call of the bugler and the shrill squawk of her mount, not a soul slept through the morning muster. Next, we've got Spitfire Lagak. 3/4 for 4. Landfall. Whenever a land you control enters the battlefield, this creature deals 1 damage to each opponent. If you hear a choking sort of cough, it's about to get really hot. My grandpa passed away today in a freak accident. We're not sure what happened exactly. Oh, I'm really sorry to hear that. That's never something you want to hear.
Oh, I'm sorry, Becca. That's tough.
It is. It's tough enough when grandparents go when it's more or less becoming expected.
Yeah.
But when it's a surprise like that, that's rough.
Oh my goodness. I'm sorry about that.
Treetop Snare Spinner. 1/4 for 4. Reach, Death Touch, and you can pay 3, put a +1/+1 counter.
I don't like spiders.
On target creature you control. That's certainly a bit of an upgrade over the old 2/4 reach giant spider for the same casting cost. Death Touch is a little too restrictive for my taste. I much prefer the old Basilisk stoning abilities, but But to get that and the ability to put these counters certainly makes up for it. And then we've got Overrun Classic. I've pulled a couple of these from Foundations already, actually, and more from previous sets. But this first came out back in Tempest. 3 green and 2. Creatures you control get +3/+3 and gain trample until end of turn. So all of a sudden, if you've got a bunch of creatures, they're a lot more threatening. Bolt Wave. Bolt Wave deals 3 damage to each opponent. 1 mana sorcery. He had 3rd degree burns over 100% of his body. Yikes. He was life flighted and all.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
I don't know that term.
It's like a
life flighted.
Probably like a air ambulance type thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's something.
Oh my goodness.
It's rare that burns are anywhere near that even.
Oh my goodness. That's scary. Hey, that was one of the arts I liked.
Well, I'm glad that some of them got out of there anyway. Yeah, that is a nice sort of serene fishing art. I kind of like that. Fishing pole, 1 cost.
Oh,
Equipped creature has pay 1 and tap it. Tap fishing pole. Put a bait counter on fishing pole. When equipped creature becomes untapped, remove a bait counter from this equipment. If you do, create a 1/1 blue fish creature token. So you can make fish and pay 2 to equip it. Alright. And this, I think, is our last uncommon. Elvish Regrower, 4 for a 3/4. Or 4/3, sorry. When this creature enters, return target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. So, kind of a 2-for-1 there. For permanents, but still. Lunar Insight is our rare. 3 cost sorcery. Draw a card for each different.
Oh, that's a cool art.
For each different mana value among non-land permanents you control.
I like that art. So
if you got a 2-drop, a 3-drop, and a 4-drop, when you play this, you can draw 3 cards for 3. It's interesting. A little narrow, requires a bit more setup. It's not reliable in every situation, but it's potentially quite powerful.
It's not a super valuable card. It's like 50 cents.
Yeah,
but I'm
not surprised.
I do like the art.
The night sky is generous with its secrets. We need only to learn its language. You might as well sleeve it. It's a rare. And then we have, what is, okay, this is just,
I remember saying I like that art before we got in the card. I just don't know if we got the foil.
Foil common, 5/3 for 5, reach, and landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, create a 1/1 green elf warrior token. That's neat. And then a mountain.
Okay, elf swarm giant.
Pretty generic. Yeah, I don't think this is much of anything.
Check.
So far, our best hit's definitely that Undercity.
Sorry, what was it saying? Elves. Can I just see the card?
Yep.
I do like the art though on this one.
All right. So yeah, so far that's our best hit for sure.
Yeah, it's a 35-cent one. So.
And we also, where'd it go? We also had the Full Throttle as our rare from Aetherdrift. Those are our two best hits so far.
Oh my goodness, yeah, that's scary. Yeah, you gotta be careful with oxygen. Oh my goodness. That's scary.
That is.
Oh my goodness. I want this nose to stop dripping. It still feels like the weekend because I'm not used to the kids being home.
Yeah. Liliana undefeated slick shot.
Oh my goodness.
It's Interesting. For an art card. Then we've got Quick Draw. That's ironic since that's the name of the deck over here. I wonder if there's one of these in there.
Ezra was jumping around and he like fell. he calmed down since he fell.
Yeah.
I just realized that's why he's not jumping around anymore.
It's a 1-cost instant. Target creature you control gets +1/+1 and gains first strike until end of turn. Creatures target opponent controls lose first strike and double strike until end of turn.
So for next Monday Night Magic, I'm hoping that we can get a bit of the new set.
That would be fun.
I'm going to try and take a drive back to that.
The opening of the Omen Paths awoke the wild magic of Thunder Junction. Settlers dubbed it Thunder and put it to use in everything from farming tools to deadly weapons.
I mean, that one you kind of knew was coming, though, but the other news about your grandpa, definitely not.
Yeah.
Hopefully you were able to get your stuff out of the house at least before they took it. It's not funny. I'm sorry. I'm sick, so my brain doesn't.
Yeah.
Oy. That art is kind of interesting.
Reach for the Sky. 4-cost flash enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets +3/+2 and has reach. When Reach for the Sky is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, draw a card.
Ooh, hey. Tomorrow's a new month. That means we'll be able to gift memberships again.
Consuming Ashes. Instant. Exile target creature. If it has a mana value 3 or less, surveil 2.
What?
So you can just exile a creature as an instant for 4.
The child wants banana bread.
And there might be extra. That's interesting. I mean, as far as a 4-cost removal spell goes, I've seen worse. Daring Thunder Thief. 4/4 for 4. Flash. And when it enters the it comes into play tapped. Well, that takes away half the fun of flashing in a creature as a surprise blocker if it can't block. It's amazing how many
I'm gonna go on the 4th
sticky
to get
situations.
Okay, at least they're giving you some time.
Yeah, there's that. Oh, here's an armadillo. Armored armadillo. 0/4 for 1 white. Ward 1. And pay 4. It gets +X attack until end of turn, where X is its toughness. I always wanted to ride a slow cannonball with legs.
No, thank you. I don't want to ride an armadillo.
Skullduggery. 1 black. At the end of turn, target creature you control gets +1/+1. Target creature opponent controls gets -1/-1. Interesting. When you yellow-bellied loot stealing good for nothing bottom feeding dog face lily liver ...
Oh, so it's like, hey, we're gonna have Abram back in just
Deadly
a little over
Duelists.
a week. He's gonna be home in a little over a week.
Yeah, a little over a week from now. If everything goes smoothly.
Back.
Dead-Eye Duelist. 2-cost, 1/3, reach. Pay 1 and tap it. Dead-Eye Duelist deals 1 damage to target opponent. Slick shots are eager to demonstrate their skill to whomever questions them.
I hope he's taking lots
Now
of
we're
pictures.
into the uncommons. Honest Rutstein. Rutstein? Rutstein. Legendary creature, human warlock. Green and black for 3. You get a 3/2. No questions, no refunds. When it enters the battlefield, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand, and creature spells cost 1 less to cast. Okay. Some value there. As far as an uncommon legendary creature goes. Rustler Rampage. 1 mana with a little plus symbol above it. Spree. Choose one or more additional costs. +1. Untapped all creatures target player controls. Or, for another +1, target creature gains double strike until end of turn. Release the cows. Interesting. And then we've got Resilient Roadrunner. Beep beep. 2/2 for 2.
Oh, what?
Haste and protection from coyotes. Oh, come on.
Okay, go put
Oh, come on. This just is begging to be a card with a picture edited from the old cartoons, isn't it?
It's cute.
Yeah. It's a Roadrunner with protection from coyotes.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Anyway. Pay 3, Resilient Roadrunner can't be blocked this turn except by creatures with haste. Chasing the Roadrunner. Omen Port slang for wasting energy on impossible pursuits.
Oh, man.
I mean, it's interesting. It's very flavorful. And it's a 2/2 for 2 with super haste, sort of. So, hard to block. Next are rare.
It's a weird one.
Breaches the Blast Maker.
Monkey!
It's a goblin pirate.
It's a monkey. It looks like a monkey.
It's a goblin pirate.
Okay, but it looks like a monkey.
It's a 3/3 for 3 with menace, and whenever you cast your second spell each turn, you may sacrifice an artifact. If you do, flip a coin. When you win the flip, copy that spell. You may choose a new targets for the copy. When you lose the flip, Breaches the Blast Maker deals damage equal to that spell's mana value to any target. So either you get to copy the spell or you get to deal some extra damage. There's no downside there, really. They're both upsides.
It's a 50-cent card.
Yeah. It's interesting. Next we have Buried in the Garden. This is one of those, it's an uncommon. Enchant land. When buried in the garden, it costs 4, white, green, and 2.
That's a 35-cent card. Nothing special.
When it enters the battlefield, exile a non-land permanent you don't control until Buried in the Garden leaves the battlefield. Whenever an enchanted land is tapped for mana, its controller adds an additional 1 mana of any color. That's different.
I can't make it with the little thing that Ryan has. What's that emoji on it? What is it? Oh, a monkey. It looks like a monkey, right?
And then we've got Snakeskin Veil. 1 green. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. It gains hexproof until end of turn. Most travelers panic when they stumble upon the skin of a giant rattle worm.
That's creepy.
Laundry saw is a gift.
I don't like it.
And then we've got a swamp.
Yeah, that's...
Looks like a train.
I mean, you got a couple like you got the $138 card and the other one that was like $5. So
yeah. Oh, we haven't done bad on the packs.
Do you know what that promo card is?
It's a mass printed promo card of a card that's been around for ages. I know back in the day this card used to be worth $10, the original version. Now it's probably pretty much worthless. So
hold on a second. Not that one.
So yeah, those were our 2 best hits. The Undercity Sewers. And we got a Full Throttle. From the packs. Now let's take a look at this commander deck. Quick draw. I've heard the commander from this one is actually pretty good, and if you like a spell slinging type deck, pretty strong commander. As for what they put in the deck, well, I expect it's all the same cards that are fairly strong for commander play, but have been reprinted a bazillion times and therefore don't have any value anymore. That's what I'm expecting. But it's probably a playable deck from what I hear. At least. With some minor improvements. So here's our Outlaws of Thunder Junction Collector Booster Sample Pack. We'll open that up here in a minute. And this is supposed to be our deck box. It's pretty liberal use of the term, in my opinion. Looks more like a chest than a...
So this is what's this one?
Okay. And here's our cardboard spin down life counter.
Isabel, you need to calm down and keep the volume down, please.
Not the best with one hand here. There we go. There's 20 and then 21, and you can go up to 40 on the other side.
Why can't I find this card? They don't want it on here at all. Okay.
All right, let's see what's in this sample pack.
What's the number on here? Is there a number? Nope. Huh. I can't find this card anywhere, Barry. Like this exact copy of it.
Still wants us to get everything, but we don't have that.
The M13 version of it is a $27 card.
Yeah, if you got 2 garages plus the house with the stuff, trying to get that all into storage, you're going to have to be choosy. Unfortunately. Discover the coolest cards. Alright, let's see. What do we have here? This is a mythic. Well, we got a mythic out of this pack anyway. It's probably not that special, but it's a Hydra for a green and
pack
X.
In there too?
Yeah, it's a sample collector pack.
Oh, okay.
So that's Trample, Haste, and Vigilance. Golden Hydra enters the battlefield, or Gold Vein Hydra enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters on it. And when Gold Vein Hydra dies, create a number of tapped treasure tokens equal to its power. Well, it's versatile in its casting cost anyway. The key is to slay it before it sprouts so many heads that your fear outpaces your greed.
I found it. I found it on... no wonder I couldn't find it on the other store.
It's worth about $1 or $2, as I said.
It's a buck.
There you go. But this is a borderless, I guess you'd say.
Cool.
Gold Vein Hydra Mythic. So that might be worth looking up. And then we got a foil clear shot. We've opened several clear shots, but never had a foil one before. This is an uncommon. Target creature you control gets +1/+1 until end of turn, and it deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control.
Hey, that's a $12.74 card. US.
Not bad.
Nope, not bad at all.
Not bad for a free little bonus pack.
How many cards were in this one?
2.
Okay.
We got a sleeve handy. Yeah, when you get a chance, that's worth sleeving.
Yeah, we did okay. I mean.
Yeah. And here's the deck.
Renly's beating up Isabel again.
And what's this? This is just all about the deck.
No, this one's not bringing that one up because this one's a foil.
Playing your deck.
Yeah, I'm going to look at for one for that one.
It's high noon, and you're facing off against 3 formidable outlaws. Luckily, you've got the quickest draw in Thunder Junction. With this deck, you'll be casting more instants and sorcery spells than the Oxen Bruce Carl.
This is only 50 cents.
Yeah, I didn't think that one was worth much.
Where's the...
Counts in his sleep. Play creatures that help you cast tons of spells and watch your rapid-fire casting energize Stella to keep the spells coming. Set up for a huge turn that uses Stella to supercharge your spellcasting grand finale. And then Commander rules.
Do you want me to sleeve this too?
Stella Lee, the wild card. Stella is young, curious during Rogue. There's a little background. Is this all background?
That looks cool.
I guess so. Anyhow, let's get to the cards. Where's that deck gone?
I stole it. I was looking at it.
Right. It's got a pull tab here somewhere on the side.
Okay, so that Stella Lee card right off the bat is a $3 card. Well, when it was in stock. So.
And that's the regular one?
Both of them foiler. They're both the same.
Sorry?
They're both the same.
The like thick
this one?
One?
The Stella Lee, I'm talking about that one.
Yeah, the thick one or the regular one?
The foil or the non-foil are both $3. $1.60 US.
Because, yeah, you get... I don't know if this is going to show up much, but you can tell it when you handle it for sure.
What's the next one? Are they all?
This is just tokens, bounty.
They're kind of interesting looking.
Oh no, this is the wanted cards.
Oh.
So, bounty. At the beginning of your end step, if the nearest opponent to your left, as the turn began, was dealt combat damage this turn, collect your reward. Rewards. Interesting. So this is another whole sort of sub-game. Sleepy Skova and Riza Blades Eel. Those are the 3 bounty cards that come with it, apparently. We got Treasure Token, Dragon Elemental. So something here makes dragon tokens.
Oh my goodness.
There's a bunch of tokens in here, so apparently drakes and boars and apes, bird illusions. Alright, so we got Stella Lee, the wild card. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, exile the top card of your library. Until end of your next turn, you may play that card, and you can tap it to copy an instant or sorcery spell you control. You may choose new targets for the copy. Activate only if you cast 3 or more spells this turn. So it gets you a potential extra card, and then it can also copy one of your spells as well.
I like the value that it gives us in Canadian dollars over the value in a US dollar, because it makes it feel like it's worth more.
Sometimes. Or just makes it seem like things are more expensive. Anyway, but there's Stella. So she's worth a couple bucks and seems to be a commander that you could do a few things with anyway.
Okay.
Next up we have legendary creature Eris. Now this sucker costs 8, 9, 10. So that's expensive. The spell costs 2 less to cast for each different mana value among instants and sorcery cards in your graveyard. So you can bring that down in a hurry. Potentially. Flying for a 4/4 with prowess. Card. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, create a 4/4 red dragon elemental creature token with flying and prowess. Okay, so there's one of your token makers. I'm going to put this upside down. I don't know if we want to sleeve that or not. I guess it's your commander, so might as well.
That other one's like a $2 card. The one you just showed.
Yeah. That way I won't feel so bad putting our commander face down on the table and stacking everything on top of her if she's in a sleeve.
Yeah. 8? What are you saying 8 for?
I'm guessing the casting cost.
Oh.
Because there's 8, 9, 10 to play with the blue and the red. Anyway. Then we've got Archmage Emeritus, Human Wizard, Magecraft. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, draw a card. So this gets you more cards again. For 4, for 2/2. Then,
so what's the card that's so popular in this, or is it just
Well, I've heard the only person I really recall talking about when I looked up this deck was talking about the commander itself and how you could get a lot of extra value out of it.
Oh, okay.
And it doesn't cost a whole lot. So you need a way to protect it to keep it around because people like to get rid of it off the board before you can draw extra cards and copy your cards and stuff. But
okay.
Yeah, in terms of what's in here, I'm really not so sure. So we got Burrell's Expertise. 5. Return up to 3 target artifacts and or creatures to their owner's hands. You may cast a spell with mana value 4 or less from your hand without paying its mana cost. Did I just... Yeah, I did, didn't I? Took a sip of tea. So I might have moistened that card a little. Anyway. Tezzeret's Gambit. This one's got Phyrexian mana in the casting cost, so it's either 3 and 2 life or 4. Draw 2 cards, then proliferate. Good old proliferate can be interesting at times. Midnight Clock. Tap for a blue for a 3-cost artifact, or pay 3 to put an hour counter on Midnight Clock. At the beginning of each upkeep, put an hour counter on Midnight Clock. When the 12th hour counter is put on Midnight Clock, shuffle your hand and graveyard into your library, then draw 7 cards and exile Midnight Clock. Okay. So it sort of has a time twistery type effect for just you eventually, but that's going to take a while. And if the game goes long, you might get value out of it if someone doesn't clear it first. Haughty Djinn. Star 4 for 3, flying. Its power is equal to the number of instant and sorcery cards in your graveyard. And it makes them cost less. Yeah, I could see that being handy. I definitely could see that one being handy. It used to be that Djinns and Afrits typically had a downside unless they were called Mohammadi. That one looks like it's pretty much all upsides. Dig Through Time. 8 cost. Delve. Each card you exile from your graveyard while casting the spell pays for 1. Look at the top 7 cards of your library. Put 2 of them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order.
Oh, interesting.
That's the way to dig for cards. Winged Boots. Artifact. Equipment for 2, including blue. Equipped creature has flying and ward 4. So this would be a way to protect your commander a little bit with ward 4. I don't know how good flying is going to be for it, but that's something. And this is a rare. See, it's slightly similar to the old Swiftfoot Boots or cards like that. It is blue, which restricts it a bit. I don't know. I assume this has been reprinted into Oblivion, but it might be worth checking.
Just put it aside here and I'll check in a minute.
Then we've got Tarlon, Sky Summoner, 4 for a 2/2. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, put a 2/2 blue Drake token with flying into play. Octavia, Living Thesis. Well, there's another big, interesting card. I'll get this all strung out. I'd like to keep it in order for now, till I decide what I'm doing with some of this. 10 for an 8/8. The spell costs 8 less to cast if you have 8 or more instants and or sorcery cards in your graveyard. So eventually you can drop this for 2. Ward 8. Mage Craft. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, target creature has base power and toughness 8/8 until end of turn. That could be used to generate some serious threat in a hurry. Thundercap Drake. 2/1 for 2 flying. Instant and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Then you can pay 3 and sacrifice it. When you cast your next instant or sorcery spell this turn, copy it. Each time you've cast your commander from the command zone this game. Huh. Interesting. Lock and Load.
I'm so sorry.
3-cost sorcery. Draw a card and then draw a card for each other instant or sorcery spell you've cast this turn. And you can plot for 4 and exile this card from your hand. Cast it as a sorcery on a later turn without paying its mana cost. Huh, so you can plot something to save it for later. Always bring a little extra thunder. I'm going to look up Winged Boots when you get a chance. Winged Boots.
What does it look like?
Shoot.
Just give them to me. I'm sorry, I'm so snuffly.
No, this is falling over. All right. Next, we've got Forger's Foundry. That's interesting looking. 3 costs. Tap for blue. When you spend this mana to cast an instant or sorcery spell with mana value 3 or less, you may exile that spell
That's an $8
instead.
card.
The boots?
Yep.
Huh. That's a little surprising to me, but there you go.
Ooh, I guess Octavia Living Thesis card is cool.
I guess it hasn't been reprinted to death yet.
Ooh, Thunderclap Drake. That looks awesome. I miss these because I was busy going to deal with my nose. I like the art on these.
Exile that spell instead of putting it into its owner's graveyard as it resolves. And then you can pay 5 and tap it. You may cast any number of spells from among the cards exiled without paying their mana cost. Exile as a source. Okay. That's interesting too. Forger's Foundry. It's definitely one of those sort of long setup type cards though. But in the meantime, it's getting you more mana. Final Revelation. Draw X cards. If X is 10 or more, instead reshuffle your graveyard into your library, then draw X cards. And untap up to 5 lands if you have no maximum hand size for the rest of the game.
This art is pretty impressive.
Mythic. Huh. That is interesting. I don't expect it's worth much, but it does have some plus side over the old Brain Geyser. That's for sure. Curse of the Swine. 2 blue and X exile. X target creatures for each card exiled this way. It creates a 2/2 green board creature token.
It's not worth a ton. It's like 75 cents. But the art's cool.
It is. Mizzix Mastery. 4-cost exile target card that's an instant or sorcery from your graveyard. For each card exiled this way, copy it. You may cast a copy without paying its mana cost. Exile makes it mastery, and you can overload. That's complicated, but it sounds like you can do a lot if you got a full graveyard. Chaos Warp. This is one of the first Commander deck new cards they came out with, and I purposely bought one of those old Commander decks just to get a copy, because back at the time, this was a great way for Red to get rid of enchantments, which it had trouble doing. Red could destroy lands and creatures, usually with damage, and even artifacts fairly easily, but enchantments, well, this can take care of
That is weird art.
target permanent.
So how do they
I
come
expect that's been reprinted to oblivion by now for sure.
How do they come up with these
Cackling Spellslinger.
Commander decks? Like, does somebody make it in a tournament? Or is it
No, these are all crafted by Wizards of the Coast.
Okay.
They probably have input from some people who've been playing Commander for a while. And they see the decks that people build online and stuff. So,
Okay.
2/2 flash for 5. When Cackling Spellslinger enters the battlefield, if you cast it, the next instant or sorcery spell you cast this turn has Storm. Well, that's interesting.
It is an interesting art.
Giving spell Storm is definitely potentially powerful. However, adding 4 to what you got to pay that turn certainly will slow it down a little. Discard your hand, then draw 4 cards. For each card discarded this way, creatures you control get +1 attack until end of turn, and you can plot it for 4. Smoldering Stagecoach, another vehicle, star 5 for 4. Its power is equal to the number of instant or sorcery cards in your graveyard. Crew for 2. Whenever Smoldering Stagecoach attacks, the next time instant spell and the next sorcery spell you cast each turn have Cascade.
Is he in the bedroom or outside?
I think he's in the bedroom.
I should double check that.
Elemental Eruption. Create a 4/4 red dragon elemental creature token with flying and prowess.
I love it.
But you're creating a 4/4 for 6
I like
as a sorcerer. Oh, but it has Storm. Okay, so that's sort of like a mini Dragon Storm, I guess. Rousing Refrain. 5. Add red for each card in target opponent's hand. Until end of turn, you don't lose this mana as steps and phases ends. Exile Rousing Refrain with 3 times. With 3 time counters on it. Or you can suspend 3 for 2. Okay.
That's a weird art.
Cursed Mirror.
Interesting.
Pay 3, and you can tap it for a red. And you may have it become a copy of any creature on the battlefield until end of turn, except it has haste. So it comes in, you can take a swing with it, and then it's just a mana rock. That's different. Bloodthirsty Adversary. It's a vampire, 2/2 for 2, haste. And when it enters the battlefield, you may pay 3 any number of times. Whenever you pay this cost 1 or more times, put that many +1/+1 counters on it, and then exile up to that many target instant or sorcery cards with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard, and copy them. You may cast any number of the copies without paying their mana costs. It's a mythic for whatever that's worth in a
not much. It's only 75
singleton
cents.
deck.
It's only 75 cents. Ooh, that art
Finale
is cool.
of Promise.
Ooh, like it.
2 red and X. You may cast up to 1 target instant card and or up to 1 target sorcery card from your graveyard, each with mana value of X or less without paying their mana costs. If a spell cast this way would be put into your graveyard, exile it instead. If X is 10 or more, copy each of those spells twice. You may choose new copies for the... So yeah, if you can get X up to 10, everything comes flying back. That's
I do like the art in that, though.
Interesting.
Oh, boy.
Arcane Bombardment. 6 for an enchantment. Whenever you cast your first instant or sorcery spell each turn, exile an instant or sorcery card at random from your graveyard. At random? Ugh. Then copy each card exiled with Arcane Bombardment. You cast any number of the copies without paying their mana cost. This deck definitely feeds off its graveyard a lot. Oh, here's another version of Niv-Mizzet. Niv-Mizzet Param. This one costs 6, 3 and 3, red and blue. This spell can't be countered. It's a 5/5 flying. Whenever you draw a card, Niv-Mizzet Param deals 1 damage to any target. Whenever a player casts an instant or sorcery spell, you draw a card. Well, that's a big dragon that likes to draw and deal damage.
Like
so
dragons.
that's Niv-Mizzet. All right.
Hey, how's Founder? Yeah, I'm gonna some of the art on these.
That's definitely a little different from the other two versions of them that I have. Kaza Royal Chaser. 1/2 for 2, flying haste. Tap it. The next instant or sorcery spell you cast this turn costs X less to cast, where X is the number of wizards you control as this ability resolves.
It's not focusing very good on the picture.
No, it's not. It's been hopping in and out constantly all stream. What sort of life is that? Huddling in the familiar and safe? No thanks. Put me right in the center of the action.
Yeah, honestly, if you can get this at Costco, it's probably worth it.
Yeah, I mean, it is a pretty good deal for the price that they have them for. And again, that'll depend on which decks are available, because not all the decks are as strong as this one. From what I hear. Anyway.
Yeah.
Shark Typhoon. 6 enchantment. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create an XX blue shark creature token with flying. Flying shark? Okay. Where X is that spell's mana value.
I am so
and
sorry,
you can cycle for a blue, a colorless, and X. And whenever you cycle Shark Typhoon, create an XX blue shark creature token with flying.
This head cold is making me like really, really tired fast. Not to mention with Lucas being up at 3 this morning. I didn't sleep well.
Galvanic Iteration. Whenever you cast your next instant or sorcery spell this turn, copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy, and it's got flashback.
Yeah, I heard Costco has 4 versions available for $44. That seems about right.
It seems about right. Like I said, we paid a little bit more than 44 in Canadian because everything costs more in Canadian, but that sounds like it would scale about right.
Well, it was, I think, 59 Canadian, so yeah.
Epic Experiment. A red, a blue, and X. Exile the top X cards of your library. You may cast instants and sorcery spells with mana value X or less from among them without paying their mana costs. Then put all cards exiled this way that weren't cast into your graveyard.
Where did that Lorcana thing that I picked up go? I don't know where I put it.
Still in one of the bags somewhere.
Yeah, I thought I pulled it out and I don't know where it is. Weird.
Oh, man.
I'm gonna find it. Oh, man.
Veyran, Voice of Duality.
Interesting. That's a neat art.
Ifrit Wizard. Legendary. 2/2 for 3. Blue and red. Magecraft. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn. If you cast or copying an instant or sorcery spell causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. So you get extra triggers as well. That's interesting. Leeline Dowser. Pay 2, pay 1 and tap it, mill a card. You may put an instant or sorcery card milled this way into your hand. Tap an untapped legendary creature you control to untap Leeline Dowser.
Oh boy.
Interesting. Not like any other Leeland I'm used to. Here's an exotic orchard. Add 1 mana of any color that a land an opponent controls could produce. This would be handy in multiplayer for sure. And you're only playing 2 colors here, so it's not as critical a mana fixer as it might otherwise be.
I like that card. It's pretty.
It was a strange morning when we awoke. We found all our trees transformed. We didn't know whether to water them or polish them.
It's pretty. I like that art.
Next we have a Shivan Reef. So you can tap it for colors, or you can tap it for red or blue, but it deals 1 damage to you. It's one of the... It took them a while to make the enemy-colored pain lands, but they did get around to that eventually.
Here it's gone. It's done. I just had the last one.
Okay. I know that some of these lands, like pain lands and stuff, used to be sort of $5-6, but...
Oh, hey, we got a Deadpool raid.
I'm sure they've been replanted to oblivion now.
Welcome in, Deadpool Raiders.
Welcome, Deadpool Raid.
Hey, ALB, welcome in.
Thanks for dropping in, for sure.
Hey, Baby Ice. Hey, Lori.
Sulfur
Green
Falls.
Greninja.
You can tap for either color when it comes into the battlefield. Tap unless you control
Green Greninja. I already said your name.
Mountain.
You got a double mention.
Or island. Frostboil Snarl. That's so chaotic it's hard to see exactly what's going on there, but it enters the battlefield. You may reveal an island or mountain card from your hand. If you don't, it comes into play tapped.
Welcome. That's me. Yep, that is you.
Temple of Epiphany.
Thank you.
Enters the battlefield tapped.
Oh, Alec Longoria.
When it enters the battlefield, scry 1, and it taps for blue or red. And
the Great Hambino. Jane, welcome in, everyone.
Cascading Bluffs. I think these are the lands they came out with around Shadowmoor-ish block.
Okay.
Like Lorwyn Shadowmoor time. So it hasn't been around for as long as the Pain lands. So it probably hasn't been reprinted to oblivion as badly. But it's still
Hey, Dragonfang,
handy.
Dan. How are you doing? I haven't seen these Pokemon cards before. Yeah, they're pretty interesting Pokemon cards, aren't they?
Yeah, this is a fire water type deck. And it's got some dragon stuff in it.
Oh, man.
Stability and volatility churn together, creating beauty and danger both. That's one thing I do kind of miss about Pokemon cards from other games, is that you don't get the landscapes quite the same way. Yes, there are stadiums and things.
The one you just showed was pretty cool.
It was. Oh, wow. Okay. So we're back out of lands again.
That's a really cool one. Just clocked out.
Blue and red. Ferris Lake. Interesting.
Oh, you were working
Don't
up
remember
until
where
now?
that was originally from.
That'd be a late night, eh?
Treasure Cruise. Draw 3 cards for 8
Hello,
and
Zach,
delve.
welcome in. Yeah, we're just going through this
Preordained, scry 2, then draw
Commander
a card.
kit we picked up at Costco.
Ponder. This was a staple for a while when they started to crack down on Brainstorm.
Ooh, that is a cool art.
Look at the top 3 cards of your library, then put them back in any order. You may shuffle and then draw a card.
I think our UPS people, they usually stop delivering by
Murmuring
6 or
Mystic.
something? I don't even know.
1/5 for 4. Human Wizard. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, create a 1/1 blue bird illusion.
Are you
with flying?
Talking about like Pokemon Night?
Deep Analysis.
I'm sorry, my brain is done because this
4,
cold is kicking my
target
butt.
player draws 2 cards, and you can flash back for 2 and 3 life.
That's a weird art. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Specimen seems to be broken.
Move it. Get rid of it. I don't like it.
Next, we have Radical Idea.
That's weird, too.
2, pay 2 to draw a card. Jumpstart. You may cast this card from your graveyard by discarding a card in addition to paying its other costs, then exile the card. Genius is finding the edge of what's possible, then jumping over it. Opt. 1 blue.
That's cool.
Scry 1. Look at the top card of your library. You may put that card on the bottom of your library, and then draw a card. Sometimes the hardest choice is between 2 wonders.
My mail got delivered about 8 tonight. We get super late sometimes. Okay.
Think twice. Draw a card. Flashback for 3. Cost 2 is an instant. Either I know just the spell I need, or I'm about to. Now, is this the type of card someone was saying that could combo really well with Stella here? Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, and okay, this isn't it. I think you needed a card that drew a spell that would draw you a card and untap target permanent, so you could untap her and just keep copying it. I think that was the combo they were talking about. Arcane Denial. There's a fun card from back in Alliances. Blue and 1. Counter target spell. Hard counter for 2 mana. Its controller may draw up to 2 cards at the beginning of the next turn's upkeep. You draw a card at the beginning of the next turn's upkeep. So, hard counter for 2 replaces itself, but your opponent can also draw some extra cards. Or if you counter one of your own, hey, you can draw 3 that way, but you're countering your own spell at that point, so that's not ideal. 1/1 for 1. Salamander Drake. Flying. So it's like flying men with an added ability. Pay 8. Adapt 4. This ability costs 1 less to activate for each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard. If this creature has no +1/+1 counters on it, put a +1/+1 counter on it.
Oh, I brought it over here.
Vandal Blast. Destroy target artifact you don't control, and you can overload for 5.
I found it.
Beauty's in the eye of the exploder. Pognify. I remember this was a popular little fun card for casual games for a while.
It's a monkey.
Blue doesn't get a lot of removal.
It's void.
So one blue, destroy target creature. It can't be regenerated. Its controller creates a 3/3 green ape creature token. So basically, whatever creature you have that's causing you trouble is now a 3/3 monkey instead.
It's Void's monkey.
So your Shivan Dragon or Charizard or whatever, whoop, it's now a monkey. Some spell crafting mistakes go on to become spells of their own.
You're gonna have to show Void the monkey.
Yeah. Pognify. Serum Visions. 1 blue, draw a card, and then scry 2. We've got Faithless Looting. 1 red, draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards. You can flash it back for 3. It's a good way to dig and get more cards in your graveyard if that's what you're trying to do.
Ooh.
Next, we've got Big Score. 4 mana. As an additional cost to cast this spell, discard a card. Draw 2 cards and create 2 treasure tokens.
Oh, wow, that art is interesting. I don't know why I like it, but I do. It's kind of weird.
Unimaginable riches. I assure you, I have a vivid imagination.
Yeah.
Stormkiln Artist. 2/2 for 4. Dwarf Shaman. It gets +1 attack for each artifact you control. And whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, create a treasure token. A captured elemental makes for a potent, albeit unstoppable power source. You see, there's one of the versions of Smaug card that they made, which I think costs less for treasures your opponent controls or something.
Okay.
And there's just so many cards out there that make treasures now. I guess that's more of a thing than it used to be. Anyway, young Pyromancer. 2/1 for 2. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, create a 1/1 red elemental creature token.
Huh.
Electrostatic Field for 2. 0/4 Defender Wall. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, it deals 1 damage to each opponent.
Actually, that art is really neat. Like, I think the video doesn't really do it justice. You kind of have to see it in person. It looks better if you're looking at the actual card. It just looks really cool.
It's both an ingress denial mechanism and an
look at that
attractive hallway light.
It looks like a star.
Kinda.
That's cool.
Lucas likes lights and arcing electricity.
Yeah. Oh, Lucas.
Volcanic Torrent. 5. Sorcery Cascade.
That's cool.
Volcanic Torrent deals X damage to each creature and planeswalker your opponents control, where X is the number of spells you've cast this turn. I remember I built a Cascade deck once. This was a long time ago. Gutter Snipe. 2/2 for 3. Goblin. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, Gutter Snipe deals 2 damage to each opponent.
Can I take a closer look at that?
Fire, fire, fire. What joy. What fire. Burn it all.
I'm trying to decide if it's so ugly it's cute.
Windfall.
It is. It's so ugly it's cute. You gotta get a better look at it. Look at him. Oh, I love it. I don't know why, but I do. Oh, he's so cute. I have a weird what I think is cute sometimes.
Rich is a relative term. 3 cost. Each player discards their hand and then draws cards equal to the greatest number of cards a player discarded this way.
My iPad's being silly.
Goblin Electromancer. Instant or sorcery spells cost you 1 less to cast. 2/2 for 2. I remember just being a 2/2 for 2 with any positive ability was enough to make a card playable and interesting. Those days are long gone.
I think tomorrow I'm going to try and set up the new iPad or the new laptop.
Third Path Iconoclast. A red and a blue for a 2/1. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create a 1/1 colorless soldier artifact creature token. More tokens generation. Expressive Iteration. 2 cost sorcery for red and blue. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. Put 1 of them into your hand. Put 1 of them on the bottom of your library. Exile 1 of them. You may play the exiled card this turn. Prismari students dance in the tension between passion and perfection.
I like that card. Alright.
Arcane Signet. 2 cost. Tap. Add 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity. Yes. A card that's useless unless you're playing commander. Not a huge fan of those, but there you go. If you're going to play them, I guess commander is the time to play them. It started as a mere drop of water. The magic mirror crystallized it into much more.
I like that card. It's cool.
It's basically a Felwar Stone.
I like it, though.
Anyway. Is it Signet? 2 cost. Pay 1 and tap to add 1 of each. The Is It Signet is redesigned often, each time becoming closer The vanity portrait of Niv Mizzet himself.
Hey, Soul Ring.
Yeah. And again, they've been putting one of these in every commander deck for so long.
I like this art, though.
This used to be like an $8 card for an uncommon. Now it's been reprinted so much that, yeah, I'm sure it's pretty much
But I really like
worthless.
this art. It's really cool.
I mean, I suppose the closer you have to an original one, it's still probably worth something, but yeah. Pay 1 for an artifact that can tap for 2. There's not much else to say about that. It's always been a solid card. And to the point where sometimes they like to ban or restrict it. So, when the Great Vault fell, it scattered its wonders across Thunder Junction. The problem with this in Commander is that Commander tends to be a very multicolor heavy format, and a lot of the cards sometimes don't like colorless mana much. Command Tower, 1 mana, tap for 1 mana of your commander's color identity again. That whole thing. That's been around since I started making commander decks. Temple of the False God. Add 2 colorless mana. Activate only if you control 5 or more lands. So that's definitely, a 2-mana land with some downside.
I like this art. That's cool.
Next, we have a Requillery Tower. You have no maximum hand size, and it taps for colorless. Is it Boiler Works? Enters the battlefield tapped. When it enters the battlefield, return a land you control to its owner's hand, and you can tap for 2, a red and a blue. Propaganda. That's... Oh, when did they first print that?
I wonder what time Abram gets up for the day when they start working.
I'm not sure. He's always been...
he's been a late
more of an evening person than a morning person, but then again, travel can do funny things. Anyway, 3-cost enchantment. Creatures can't attack you unless their controller pays 2 for each creature they control that's attacking you.
That's kind of creepy.
Yep.
I don't like it.
Here's an island that's just shaped like a town fountain, apparently. Kind of nice looking. Cool. We got a couple of those. You know what? I know that it's basic lands, and then in Commander, that's one of the main exceptions. You can have as many as you want. But you'd think that at least put different arts. I don't know. I know some people like to have matching arts on their cards, so... Here's a different one. This reminds me of some of those bridges in Breath of the Wild that are just completely beyond the laws of physics.
That's a little weird, though. The rock that they have, I think it needs to be not as tall. It needs to be around, like more jagged or fatter or something.
They should really throw some snow-covered lands in here, too.
Yeah.
In my opinion. There's a mountain town of some sort. And there's another one with the train.
Oh, goodness. Actually, that's kind of cool. Sorry,
And there's all the lands.
I'm yawning.
They did add a selection. I mean, you're a little bit limited in a 2-color deck. They did find a number of 2-colored lands that I think will be helpful.
So what is your overall thoughts on this, like the Commander deck and the bundle itself? The price is decent.
The Commander deck is interesting. I think this one is playable. It's always a little bit hard to judge with blue if you've got the right balance of, disruption for your opponents, sort of, whether that's counterspell or bounce or whatever, and then enough card draw and cycling and searching stuff up.
Yeah.
Your commander in this is going to be a big help for giving you extra value out of your cards. And there were a couple of good cards in there for sure.
Or are you still showing stuff off?
Honestly, at the price point they're offering it, most of the commander decks that were in this series, I think there's one that's, not worth that price. So basically, you're getting.
But I mean, even
You might be paying an extra $5-10 to cover the cost of 4 packs, which and in the case of this deck, I think it goes for a little bit more than what the bundle costs to begin with. So the packs are basically free. So it depends a bit on the deck, but generally speaking, it's a good combo.
welcome in.
There's some interesting stuff in the deck. There weren't any like super cards that were absolutely, blow me out of the deck, out of the water. I would buy this card just for that one, this deck just for that one card. That sort of thing, I didn't see anything
There's a few
in there
arts that I really like out of the.
But there's some good solid lands, some good solid cards to help build around for blue-red.
Yeah.
There's new things I would add to try to get, sort of some more efficient spells in there. This deck plays well straight out of the box. Well, thank you for that. I haven't tested it, obviously, myself, but I could see how it might. I've heard that it plays better than the other decks in the Thunder Junction series, which this combo was built off of. And the fact that you get 4 booster packs plus your little sample booster.
Yeah.
And we got some decent hits out of these packs. So like the sample booster, we pulled Gold Vein Hydra, which is worth a few bucks. And then from, which one was this? Karlov. We pulled a Undercity Sewers, which is one of the better lands you can pull, I think.
It was like 38 or something Canadian.
Something like that. So, yeah, probably $25 or so US. And then we got a Full Throttle from the new set there, Aetherdrift, which is, they say it's worth 5, but it's still such a new set. I'm sure that's going to drop.
It's still kind of cool.
It does seem like a bit of a win more card to me, because you got to have a good setup for it to really have value, but
oh, sorry, I'm really tired.
It's at least interesting.
That one's not super valuable, but the art, I love it.
Yeah, you just like the art on that.
I love the art.
I can understand. In the right situation, it can be good value. But yeah, those were some of our more interesting hits. And then, of course, you get the promo.
Oh, this art was cool.
Planeswalker. If you don't have one, it's worth having one of these in your collection. I've had this card for years, so to me, this is just another card they're reprinting into oblivion. But it is undoubtedly a nice piece of Magic history. Nicole Bolas has been a larger-than-life personality for a long time in the game. And this card, yeah, it's a little expensive. It can be hard to play with it, but at the same time, it's definitely a threat when it hits the board.
This one's not a high-value card by any means, but the art is really cool.
Yeah, it's nice to get some cards where the foiling really plays into the art there.
Yeah. Yeah. So some pretty neat cards. I mean, honestly, we wanted to kind of get one of these kits just to kind of test it out.
Yeah, just to take a look at how it goes. And again, we're comparing to the previous Commander deck bundles that we've gotten at Costco. I do like the Lord of the Rings ones best just because it's Lord of the Rings and that's a theme that just sits well with me. Yes. The fact that it only came with 2 booster packs is just sort of proof of the point. It didn't need a lot of extra help to make that combo worthwhile picking up. And we bought a couple of those.
Yeah.
This one, we just bought the one. We also just bought the one March of the Machines. March of the Machines had had 3 packs with it instead of the 4 this one's came with, but it did have a Commander Masters pack in there, and those are a little bit pricier.
Was the March of Machines the one that had the Bloomborough pack in it too?
I believe it had a Bloomborough pack in it as well, yes.
What was the price for this one? Well, we're in Canada, so this one was, what, 59 Canadian at Costco?
It was...
Yeah, US, I think Founder was saying
50 or $60, something like that.
At Costco, Founder was saying US are like 44 or something.
I believe that's what they said. So
not bad at all. Like,
no, it's not. I remember looking up when we did just a quick price check on the decks themselves to see which one was most valuable.
USA 48. Yeah, that seems about right.
Yeah, it seems consistent with about what we were paying.
Yeah.
And again, how much tax you pay is going to vary from state to state or province to province.
Yeah. That is true.
Here in Alberta, we are very fortunate to be one of the only, the only province, I think, in Canada anyway, that has no sales taxes.
Provincial sales tax, you mean?
Yeah, provincial sales tax. We do have the federal 5%.
Isn't there another province that doesn't? I thought there was another.
I'm not sure.
Online only? Okay, yeah, ours just
we did catch these in store. They had some out there.
They're online as well, but they're more.
They also
online.
had some of the Charizard boxes sitting there in store, limit 2 per customer.
But
but they weren't selling nearly as well as the 151 mini tins.
We got lucky to catch on some 151 mini tins and some other Pokemon stuff in the city, so we did not go for the Charizard boxes. Although I would have if we
I'll
found
just flip through the pack we opened of Aetherdrift since these are the newest, cards.
I like that art. I like it a lot. Did I miss that when you opened it?
Maybe.
It needs a sleeve. It's mine.
It's a common. It's a sea serpent gobbling up
It's mine.
a racing vehicle, basically.
I'm claiming it. It's mine. It's gonna go in my binder that I decide I'm gonna make of really cool arts.
Roadside assistance.
I need a dragon binder.
Last summer when we were on a road trip, we had to call in some roadside assistance. So
oh my goodness, yeah. And I was driving. That was not fun.
There's an apocalypse runner.
It wasn't that I was a bad driver. We just lost the tread on our tire. It was due.
Yeah.
It wasn't because I was a bad driver.
Guild Light Matrix. This is interesting as a way to crew vehicles or put a mount on a creature that needs a mount, basically. Pack Doll Terror. Prow Catcher. Reconnecting. Brightfield Mustang. And
that one's kind of funny looking.
Howler's Heavy.
I thought I liked it at first, but I don't like it as much as I thought I did.
That's the Seal Pirate. It's a little bit strange. Then we've got the Stampeding Scurryfoot.
It's so cute.
The little mouse that calls an elephant to come stampede with it.
If you don't care about that, I want it.
It does sort of fit the sort of Bloomborough theme you like in a way. So
I love it. It's so cute.
And then we got Maximum Overdrive. And we're back to our mountain. So yeah, that was the one pack, the only pack I've ever opened of Aetherdrift. And again, here's the rare we pulled out of it.
Okay, now I want to get some more to open. You know what? If it's going to be really cheap because nobody's buying it, that might be worth picking some up.
I suppose that's possible, but anyhow.
I love that dragon or that serpent.
So that Full Throttle, and then these two. This from the the collector's edition sample pack that came with the Commander deck, and this with the pack of Murder at Karlov Manor, I believe. These were our best hits. So out of the randomized stuff, we did pretty good with this one. I think the deck, there's enough useful tools in there that we can get value out of that. And then, like I said, what we pulled out of these packs, we had some decent luck. I'll say that much.
I'm hoping that the Tarker Dragonstorm Commander bundle is going to be worth the 200, but I will also sadly have to buy a box bundle as well.
Yeah, we'll see. We're hoping to get a little bit of Tarkir Dragonstorm for next week.
I might take a drive Friday.
We'll see. Our neighboring town, they're doing a pre-release tournament on Friday, and they might have some product we could scoop. I've seen some pictures of the collector boosters. Each come with like a Dragon's Eye land card. I mean, basic lands are basic lands, but if you can find some that you like the look of, those ones where you just have the mana symbol housed in the eye of like a dragon, as basically a full art land, I think they look pretty nice, to be honest. But again, collector boosters are always expensive, so those things are going to be hard to track down if you wanted to use
this mountain. It almost looks like a lotus there, hey?
Well, it's a flower shape in general, a little geometric. And
it looks really cool.
Carved out of stone, but
I like that.
It is neat. Anyhow, I think
basically call and see if you can get on the list. That's what I did. Well, he's working and I have the kids, so I can't really stay, but I might just or you mean to buy something or to order something? I might just head over
for a pre-release tournament, I think he's saying. So
yeah, I think I'll just go and see what they have that I can just scoop up and
buy. We're not going to be able to stay for the tournament anyway.
No,
but if they've got any extra kits or something,
and then we can probably open something next week.
That could be nice
for Monday night.
Yeah, maybe. Monday. Anyway, so that is what it is, and I'll put some of this away. I got to be getting to bed because I got to get up early tomorrow morning for work.
I'm like yawning like crazy. So we have enough people. If we stick around, we can probably go bug somebody. I'm just picking up and leaving. Yeah, I don't blame you. I mean, I might just call before I head in there and be like, hey, what?
How much of this can I fit in here? Actually, will this little box fit the deck?
I don't know.
Here's
you have a good night too.
The promo.
Let's see if we can find somebody.
And then all these other cards. Will this all fit in there?
When we do go and raid somebody, just say Spokat Raid, hit the like button, and chat a little bit, and yeah, I'll see who's alive. But this week, what we got?
Don't need the art cards.
We might do a pop-up video or something for Isabel. We picked up this Lorcana gift box. It's actually kind of sparkly.
Kind of.
It's a new thing. It's kind of like their version of kind of like the gift bundles.
Apparently the promo card's got a different sort of foily treatment that they haven't really seen before. So
it has it says 5 sorted booster packs. It says selected randomly, so I think they just have that randomly thrown in there because they might switch up the packs. And the storage box looks really cool. So we might do that at some point this week for Isabel.
Insert in there too. Certainly. I mean, okay. Again, these are the 3 bounty cards that come in this particular deck. And
they look kind of neat.
Bounty is sort of separate sub-rules that I think were special. It seems like they're doing these sort of extra rules with a lot of sets now. There was the whole Karlov manor mystery thing, and then Lord of the Rings had the tempted by the ring type mechanic, and it seems they like to have these extra mechanics. But
let's see, I don't know.
But yeah, I could totally get all this stuff to fit in this little deck box, as they call it, that the thing came with there. So look at that. That commander deck and all the stuff from the packs and everything right in there. So that's good to know if you are short on storage options.
We're not going to be a huge raid, but let's go do Jay's Corner.
Anyway, thanks for coming and hanging out and checking this out with us. Honestly, yeah. I mean, I've seen a lot worse deals than these Costco Commander bundles. This newest one, I would say, well, technically...
Oh, we have 4 people now.
Technically, if you were comparing it to the March of the Machines bundle, which only had the 3 packs, but did have Commander Masters, I would say that one might be a better value in terms of the bundle as a whole, because it has the Commander Masters pack. That was a big deal. But this one does have a fairly recent set. It does have the extra booster.
Don't worry, I'm sorry. Yay, Dragon
And I would say
I don't have to go alone.
From what I can tell, which isn't a lot, but from what I can tell, the quality of the Thunder Junction Commander decks is a little bit higher than the March of the Machines ones. So,
all right. So,
I would say that puts it a little bit ahead of the March of the Machines ones they had about a year ago. I would take this. I like the theme a little bit better too. It's just Wild West is kind of a goofy theme to me for Magic the Gathering, but at least it's a coherent theme that's kind of unique, and I can appreciate that.
I still wish they'd do a Willow crossover.
Oh, who knows? They're crossing over so many things they might get to.
But I want Willow, like the original, not the remake, the original Willow movie. That's the one I want them to do a crossover.
That's an awfully big cup for tea, by the way. But that's also
my Cruella mug.
A little bit.
We don't have a Disney store in Canada anymore. They all closed.
We don't.
So it's kind of sad. We used to like going there with the kids. All right, guys. But
I got to get to bed. So thanks for coming out.
I'm exhausted.
Checking this out.
We're gonna go over.
Get some interesting pulls, and the deck is honestly there's some cards in there that. Sorry.
We keep talking over each other.
There's some cards in there I might use in one of my commander decks. I'll put it that way. I may pull some cards out of there. There's some that look interesting.
All right. So
good night.
Yep, good night. Good night. Wait a second. Don't leave yet. We'll say Spokat raid when we go and raid Jay's corner.
Spokat raid.
I think I said Jay's corner. Anyways, so Thursday we're probably gonna do some more Journey Together. We have an ETB and some 9 packs that we got from them. And
so, UTB versus 9 loose packs. Which do you think will end up better?
But I might wait till he's home so that we can do it together, or I might do a short stream in the middle of the day.
Who knows? We'll see.
Who knows? We'll see.
See how the kids are driving you crazy or not.
Yeah.
And how you're feeling with your...
Yeah, it all depends how this cold's going.
Yeah.
So, bye for now. Let's see you over there at Jay's Corner. And
Oh, I can't believe... Honestly, it seems wrong to have a red deck without lightning bolt. That's just me.
Yeah, let us know what you think. Bye for now. See you soon. Thanks for coming out. We appreciate you. And remember, April Fool's tomorrow, so be wary of things that might seem too good to be true.
or just unusual.
Yeah, bye for now. See you soon.
Yeah.